Guys! Soon this turns to a handbag! Oh my god!
Two companies, the Organoid Company and VML Lab-Grown Leather Company, have teamed up to give you the carry-on experience 66 million years in the
making! And yes, I'm really glad I'm going back to Coach, sir. I need a break, but it feels good to be home.
They preserved in collagen from Tyrannosaurus Rex fossils.
Wait, that's gonna be the one.
The new T-Rex leather handbags are hitting the shelves later this year.
Yeah, you guys excited? I'm excited!
Smart technology by modifying base templates from its closest relatives and grown without any need for skinning the animal.
Yay! I don't want to get one!
Tyrannosaurus.
Look, I know I'm the sassiest queen ever, darling, and I know I don't use handbags, but if one was a T-Rex, I would totally use it, darling.
Oh, God.
Let's get to the show, shall we, kids?
Okay, alright. Time for a fact check. This totally might come as a huge surprise to all of you, but now it looks like we are 2 for 2 on paleo-themed PR stunts this year after
I never talked about
Colossal made overly elaborate designer dogs and slapped the dire wolf label on them.
Whatever lengths you go to build your bet better.
Yeah. I like it.
He's not match fit!
We give you a free bet every week of the Premier League season and a big boost every day. That's satisfaction.
Yeah, I'm actually really glad to see Goju-san again.
We call them Dwinos.
Yeah, so my direwolf opinion, genuinely, I don't care about direwolf. I know his life created in the lab, and that's all, that's most of the content I watch, but genuinely, I don't care.
If they do not look like a dire and bark like a dire, we aren't.
That ain't no dire, sister.
Same thing applies here. Sorry to burst any bubbles, but those ain't Ice Age wolves brought back from the dead, and nobody is turning Rexy or Sue into a handbag.
Oh, thank God! I was so worried. These poor little babies. I love T-Rexes. I know I make a joke, but T-Rexes are genuinely, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful animals to ever live. I'm not even joking. T-Rexes, I would say, are one of the best animals to ever exist. I know they're used for scary media, but I just think the beauty of a T-Rex. I know we all think of Brachiosaurus, but for me, it's the T-Rex.
We have here is known in the world of business as a PR stunt, something that gets investors excited and puts company names on the map. There certainly can be good motives, and the tech involved is quite impressive, but we feel the need to clarify a few things that the internet hype train inevitably is going to get wrong. This group has created what they like to call elemental leather by essentially engineering skin cells in the lab to create leather products without actually having any animals involved. It's similar to some of the lab-grown meat you might have heard about on the news. Now, the goal of companies is making more environmentally friendly and ethical.
Speaking, I will try it. I don't be like, I want to eat meat in the lab, I'm not eating that shit. And that's up to your opinion. If you don't want to eat meat in the lab, okay, but save some more for me, because I want to try it.
Leather products by basically growing skin without...
That's what I hear is people like, oh, you could get diseases. Have you seen the dingy website, the dingy places your hamburgers are made from, sister?
The need of killing an actual animal. Legitimately good application and cool use of the technology. If someone wants to pay thousands of dollars for a handbag, better an exotic animal kept its dignity and wasn't put down to make that happen.
And that is
honesty,
great.
However, that's the problem. What has been claimed is that they used Tyrannosaurus collagen samples to recreate parts of the genome and then edited modern animal skin cells to make T-Rex-like hide. Now, if you're still lost here with some big words, don't worry. Let us explain. Collagen is a special type of protein that is really important for many parts of our bodies, especially our skin. It helps the skin stretch and spring back like a rubber band, and helps it retain water.
It can make you
think of collagen like the but doesn't help build the walls. Now, even though our body can make collagen, it doesn't have DNA in it. Imagine it like the stuffing inside a stuffed toy, like your Ultima plushie. The stuffing makes the toy soft and helps it keep its shape, but it's not what makes the shape of the toy. So trying to figure out DNA...
That was cheeky, but cool. Also, why that T-Rex got a fat ass? Along the T-Rex with a fat ass.
Or cell composition from collagen is like trying to look at a random toy
I feel like I'm back at home.
Factory it came from. So, to go back to our T-Rex example, taking a sample of T-Rex collagen isn't really going to give you any T-Rex DNA. If anything, at best, the most you might figure out are details about how flexible the skin was, based on what kinds of collagen were present and evolutionary relationships. A previous study in 2007 on preserved T-Rex collagen showed that it was functionally identical to ostrich collagen, further proving our feathered friends of today are every bit as much dinosaurs as the tyrant lizard king. But the DNA? No, that's nowhere to be found here. Besides, there's actually not that much known about T-Rex skin anyways. So let's imagine for a moment that these bags actually roll out and you, being curious, had a few $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket and...
Oh, thank you! How did you know? I mean, you think this collection's for free? No, I'm joking. I'm not even joking. I spent over £100 fucking pounds on this collection. I mean, you think it's free? You think I'm just some funny man on the internet with all this stuff? It takes real money to buy stuff like this. I'm not joking anymore. You know how much money it takes to have a collection like this? It ain't fucking cheap, I'll tell you that one for sure. I'm not even joking anymore, huh?
Now you're wondering, how do I know this is in fact
But I'm not rich.
Identical to T-Rex skin?
I'm just a guy who is useless with his money.
It will be very hard to tell. First off, this won't be T-Rex skin, but will it at least be similar?
Similar, maybe.
Despite Tyrannosaurus coming from some of the best studied fossil formations in the world, and having dozens of specimens, more than any other big theropod in its size class, actual skin fossils are surprisingly rare. The Hell Creek Formation, where most T-Rex specimens come from, doesn't have the right kind of settlement to easily make skin fossils. We're not talking about the fine-grained, high-quality stuff that preserved fossilized feathers from various raptor or other Tyrannosaurus species like Eutyrannus. For an animal with the same surface area as a bus, almost every skin sample found was smaller than the back of your palm. Some are even smaller than a fingernail. This is why it can be surprisingly difficult to tell for sure what kind of feathering the tyrant lizard king had. It had to have some, but feathers don't preserve easily anyways, and it might have been in spaces we just don't have fossils from yet.
At Sky Vegas, get 50 seriously free spins when you join, and 200 more when you deposit and spend £10. No wagering required. What you win is what you keep. Sky Vegas. Play. It's why we're here.
Well, what about the scaly parts then, you may ask? Would those look like the promotional images? Maybe they're onto something and really are getting very close, right? Hell no. Of course not. The scraps of T-Rex skin we actually do have, it seems like almost any scaly portions had extremely small
Okay, it is recording. Just want to make sure.
Scales. Not the big crocodile-like plates you see on alligator leather. Typical Tyrannosaurus scales were actually...
It wasn't like a crocodile going there. It was like a T-Rex. This ain't a T-Rex. That's a crocodile, mate. You fucking wanker.
About 1 millimeter wide. For visual representation, here is what one T-Rex scale...
This is what a virgin T-Rex looks like, you fucking wankers.
Like next to an alligator's. If you want to imagine theropod scales,
T-Rex was a YouTube reaction face,
and think less of what you saw on Jurassic World Dominion's Giga. The only real dinosaur leather made right now is this. These products are made from plucked ostrich skin and their leg scales, so actual T-Rex leather would probably look a lot like this.
And you guys have what? Willing to give it for free? I'd be honored to buy it. Obviously, I don't promote skill in the nominals, but I do agree with the philosophy that everything will die, and I think it's better to use the corpses for useful things. Our ancestors survived on making clothes. So, in my opinion, it needs to be used. That's what survival is. So, I personally have to agree. It's like vegan teacher said a baby doesn't need to eat meat. Yes, it does.
So if this venture was actually legit, why don't the representations they cooked up have something like this? Well, the fact that they used AI for the promo
AI!
Being very seeing how they managed to recreate actual T-Rex skin only adds to the suspicion. Despite the name artificial intelligence intelligence isn't really that intelligent.
What'd you expect? It's a bunch of dirty crackers!
Despite the name, artificial intelligence isn't really that intelligent. It can only reference material it knows and can't actually get creative, as of the creation of this video.
Anyway,
It also has a tendency to give you answers you want to see rather than
Not the
those
ones
that
you need.
actually exist. In essence, it's overcomplicated autofill off a search engine. Great for some
Napoleon
uses like
bullshit.
number crunching,
Bullshit.
terrible at figuring certain things out. We're not trying to assume too much here, but considering both of these promotional images were AI generated, that's totally not a knockoff Rexy from Timo in the background there. And according to that visual graph, apparently pigs and sheeps are the close T-Rex relatives that they used to analyze to help rebuild the T-Rex genome.
I knew it! I always knew it wasn't birds. It was like, oh, it's birds, it's crocodiles. No, I always thought it was a cow going, moo! That's why I always thought it was a T-Rex's relative.
Yeah, we went to more effort on the visuals for this episode than this massive company did on their promotion. And probably
For shame!
for a hell of a lot less. Guess we didn't find out where all those Hall of Shame entries wound up. Somebody in the UK and Netherlands started making handbags out of them.
Yeah.
Figuring out anything at all from an extinct animal is
It's a
exciting
first
news.
That is
This
actually a good fact. That is genuinely amazing.
one just isn't.
I want that to be known.
Imagine the
I'm not saying you can't study T-Rexes and know more about skin. That's amazing. Just lying about it, that's the problem. You know, like, in my opinion, in my opinion, yeah, James Wood said space is beautiful. In my opinion, T-Rexes are one of the most beautiful animals to ever exist.
Groundbreaking news that would change the way we see the most famous dinosaur in history be announced by a
She a baddie, she knows she'll
company.
tell
If this was truly some landmark
Thousands BC.
discovery, revealing more info of how they achieved this
Now-
would add more legitimacy to this whole
This is a joke. Just make sure it's a joke.
PR
Okay.
stunt. Instead, the AI-generated images, confusing graphics, and at several points claiming T-Rex existed 14 million years before he did,
I always knew he was older than we
something that
expected.
could have easily been
It's like a woman,
fact-checked
you
on
never ask the age,
Wikipedia,
right?
really didn't give us the best
Want to make a joke while paused? It's like a woman, you never ask the age, right?
first impression. Keeping everybody on the same page is important when announcing this sort of thing. That was a problem with the Dwino fiasco with
Why I never mentioned it, James, is that, you know, I just don't care. It's a mammal, a dirty mammal.
Muscle Biotech claiming
But it's so fucking cute. I guess.
multiple times the Dyer was the ancestor or closest relative of the gray wolf. And when they revealed their data, it turns out that wasn't the case. At
Bullshit.
the end of the day, guess it proves a few things about the Jurassic series that have aged remarkably well.
Age,
You stood
like fine wine.
shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could. Before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it and slapped it on an overpriced handbag. And now you're selling it. You want to sell it. Well,
What's this fucking FNAF teaser looking ass, bitches? So, fans, all I want to say is, with T-Rex, it's great that we know as much as we do. All I'm saying, fans, is it's better to be truthful and not lie. It's like cat girls. They're beautiful, but how do they work? There's actually a good video on how cat girls work. It's obviously a comedy video. But just saying, remember guys, it's better to tell the truth because you don't want Sue and Rexy to be disappointed in you. You don't want to get sued